On.
Hi, this is Marshall Thompson of the legendary Shylights, and you're listening to Ray Shad Show, interviewing the legends.
Hello, once again, everyone. I'm your host, Ray Shasho. Welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends, brought to you by the Rockstar Chronicles, one of my new books featuring over 45 intimate conversations with the greatest music legends the world will ever know. It's available now at bookbaby.com and amazon.com. Well, it started in 1959. That's when I was born, when Marshall Thompson formed a vocal group called The Highlights in his hometown of Chicago with fellow members Eugene Record, Robert Lester, Red Jones. After releasing several singles on local labels, the group changed their name in 1964 to Marshall and the Shylights. By the time the group changed their name to the Shylights in 1969, they were signed by Nat Tarnopol and Carl Davis to Brunswick Records, where they would soon become international superstars. Between 1969 and 74, the Shylights scored 11 top 10 singles on the Billboard R&B charts with hits like Have You Seen Her? Give It Away, For God's Sakes, Give More Power to the People, Are You My Woman, Tell Me So, A Letter to Myself, one of my favorites, The Coldest Days of My Life, Stone That on My Mind, Oh Girl, and 37 other Billboard charted singles throughout their career. During the 1970s, the Shylights were featured on television shows such as Soul Train, American Bandstand, The Midnight Special with Womack Jack, Sammy and Company, the BBC's Top of the Pops, and the very popular Flip Wilson Show, where they debuted their #1 pop smash, Oh Girl. The recordings of the Shylights have been sampled by artists such as Jay-Z, K. Michelle, American Idol winner Fantasia, and Beyonce, who sampled the Shylights to create the Grammy-winning smash Crazy in Love. Over the decades, the Shylights have supported veterans, charities, Ronald McDonald House, and UNICEF. Please welcome singer, musician, and founder of the legendary R&B soul group, the Shylights, Mr. Marshall Thompson, to Interviewing the Legends. Hello, Marshall.
What's going on there, pal?
How you doing, man?
Let's be on your show, buddy.
Hey, man, we love you. You know, I was telling you before we got started, you're the most incredible, most dapper dresser on the planet. And I really mean that.
Thank you, sir.
You know, I got to ask you a serious question. The R&B band, I grew up with R&B in Washington, D.C. I love R&B.
Wow.
R&B soul, the groups of the 60s and 70s sounded and looked so smooth. They were cool. They were classy. What happened?
Well, they went into a different trend. You know what I'm saying? They just got away from it. You know, we came from the old school. You know, we came from the Dales and the Spaniels, the Eldorados, and
Right.
from me. So that's where we got our style from, you know? And then when I left Gladys Knight, you know, I was Gladys Knight's drummer here in Chicago. And when I left Gladys, you know, I took the group from high school, after we got out of high school, put them back together. And we started traveling, doing our thing. And we started creating sounds out there. Because we used to do the Temptations all the time, you know, because we didn't have no hits then. So we Temptation. People thought we were the Temptations sometimes.
But every R&B band, they were all awesome. There wasn't a bad one in the bunch back in those days, you know?
Right.
In the 60s is where it was at, radio-wise, and the 70s.
Well, you had to know how to sing back then. You know, wasn't no fine tuner and all that stuff. You had to go in there and sing, you know.
There you go. No auto-tune.
No, the Shylights sung on every record that we ever had, just us four. Barbara Acklin, of course, she did some of the high notes with us, and you know, we had a great time with these people, you know.
But you played is it called the mouth piano, or is it the
melodica?
Melodica. You played that, and you were cool with that thing. You did a little spin on stage while you were playing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. fun times, man. We had some great times, you know.
Was it you that also played the harmonica, or was that somebody else?
Well, Sal played that harmonica, and I ended up on tour. So I was playing the harmonica in the beginning, and then I switched over to the harmonica and stopped playing that.
Yeah, that was really smooth on. Let's see, that was on.
Old Girl.
Old Girl. That's right. That's right. I was telling you before we got started, my dad had a retail electronics store on F Street in DC. I wrote a book about it, by the way. And I worked there since I was 6 years old. And we were friends with the Lowe's Palace. They were 2 doors from us.
Wow.
And they, of course, had live shows, the Shy Lights, the Spinners, the Blue Notes, James Brown, the Whispers, Al Green, the Delphonics, OJ's. Man, everybody was at the Lowe's Palace.
That's fun day. That's the big fun days there. We used to get off the plane because it was so close from the plane to the Lowe's Palace. We get there on time. Showtime, 7 o'clock. We rolling. Got off the plane at 6 o'clock, and man, we was shooting straight on over to the Lowe's Palace.
You know, I sold a pair of binoculars to Luther Ingram.
Wow.
And my dad had drinks in the dressing room with Al Green. That's before he was Reverend Al Green, of course.
Wow.
So I basically grew up with R&B, man. I even hung out with the Temptations at one time.
But hey, you know, that was my group. You know, I used to go to the store for them guys. I didn't know I was going to be out there like them. I used to go to the store for them at the Regal Theater when they come to Chicago. I used to go across the street at Walgreens and get them some sandwiches.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You must have met everybody, especially starting to work with Gladys Knight as a drummer.
Oh yeah, I left Gladys and went with Major Lane. He had a record out called Monkey Time.
Right.
I went with played drums for him for about 3 years. And wow, man, you talking about having fun. That's when I knew I was going to take our group when I get back to Chicago, put them together, and we was going to go and do our thing and meet Carl Davis, and went down there for that audition.
How come you stopped playing drums? What happened there?
Well, I played drums on some of the records.
Right.
I played goes on Beyonce's song "Crazy in Love." Played and then she added some more congos to it with me, and I was playing there. And then some of the early cuts we had, like You Love and Do You Like Mine. Some of them I played drums on. You know, I played drums on quite a few songs.
Well, you're a good drummer, man. I did see some clips of you playing with Gladys.
Oh, yeah, I had a good time. I played with Jackie Wilson. Played on one. Got this feeling, loving feeling, which I think that's what they call it, loving feeling. But I played drums. I played drums on a lot of stuff too. We started getting our hits, and then I backed off for that.
You knew the Michael Jackson and the Jacksons when they were just starting, right?
Yeah, I took the Jacksons. They came over to my house one day. I was out of town. I was coming back, and my auntie say, "Hey, a guy came looking for you and left his card named Joe Jackson." I said, "Let me give him a call." So I gave him a call. He brought the Jackson 5, all of them over my house, and said, "Marshall, we wanted to use your arrangements. The arrangements you had, you did a song for not Does It About Me, Know About Me, but it's I'm Your Man." And we used to sing that in my group. So we had to get a whole arrangement back in those days, because we had the big band.
Right.
And the Jackson 5 was doing a talent show, and they didn't have no arrangements. So I loaned them my arrangements to do their show. And we got to be friends ever since. Then whoever win the talent show comes to play the big show. So they opened up the show for the Regal Theater with me and Bobby Taylor. So Bobby Taylor was upstairs, and I went up there to see Bobby because I was trying to get the Motown.
Yeah.
I said, "Bobby, could you take us to Motown?" He said, "Mark, think about it after the show. We'll talk about it." All of a sudden, Jackson 5 was downstairs tearing the place up. And he said, "Who is that making that noise?" I said, "That's my little group I take around Chicago all the time. And the little clubs, we be running down the alley because the police be chasing us." "You ain't old enough to be in that club?" So we running down with our drums in there. So I went up there and told Bobby, I said, "Bobby, could you take us to Motown?" He said, "Well, we have to think about it at the end of the show." But he went to, when I took him down there and introduced him to Joe Jackson, he ended up taking them to Motown. So I called Joe the next month. I said, "Joe, what's going on, man?" He said, we're going to Motown. But I'm glad they did, because if we had went to Motown, it would have been a hard competition for us, because they had Temptation, Supremes. You know, they had some great Stevie Wonder, everybody over. So we went to Brunswick Records with Jackie Wilson. We ended up being the top group at Brunswick. That's how we got our break.
Right. I'm surprised there's a lot of bands that didn't end up in Motown, like the OJs didn't go, right? And Spinners, and you guys were all kind of in that kind of category, weren't you?
All friends, all good friends, you know, toured together for years.
I was going to ask you if there's any animosity between the bands. Was there?
No. We never had that with our groups. You know, our group, we go on and do what we do, you know, and did what they did. And we're friends. We're all friends, you know.
And you probably toured a lot together too, right?
Oh, yeah. Years. We did. The Spinners been on the show at the Apollo Theater with us. A lot. The OJs, of course.
OJs.
They were steamroller tour with us back in the days. We was headlining a lot of the shows then, because we had the big records. You know, have you seen that old girl? And the OJs hadn't had the hit yet. And so we put out a country western song, and we was relaxing, because we trying to think we gonna have a big country western song, and the OJs come up with that Backstabber.
Yeah, Backstabber. That was a great tune.
On their way. The boys was on their way then. And they said, well, where it go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we've been friends, man. We've been friends for years. But I stay with the Jacksons a lot. You know, that's like their uncle, you know, really.
Yeah. But have you seen her, man? When that came out, oh my God, that turned everything around. Because there wasn't a song like that, you know, that had, I guess, just the you know, talking in the record, talking about,
and the longest record ever. Run around for a whole year singing the wrong side, and we end up at the Kiel Auditorium in St. Louis,
right,
with Jim Gates and the guy there. I forgot the other boy's name, right? I know it all the time, and I just slipped my mind, man. But anyway, we end up on the show opening up for Jackie Wilson. So we was getting off stage, and everybody was saying, y'all didn't sing Have You Seen Her? We say, Have You Seen Her? That's a B-side. We don't sing no Have You Seen Her. So you say, man, you better get back on that stage and sing Have You Seen Her? They're going to tear this place up. People was talking about, have you seen her? Have you seen her? Have you seen her? Band, I looked at my band, because we didn't rehearse it, see. And I told Jim Gates, I said, man, we didn't have rehearsed that song. He said, man, you better say do. We did that 15 minutes, man. And the people went crazy, man. So I got off the stage and went back to the hotel. I called Carl Davis. I said, Carl, we've been singing the wrong side, man. He said, I know. We're pressing up some now, because it was a group in Motown was gonna cover it if we had taken the album.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't cover it before you guys
right on
the hit.
Well, we can
definitely. And then MC Hammer covered it.
He covered the same.
How about that?
Yeah, he was on the Jack the Rapper tour. We surprised him. We was up in the balcony while he was singing it. He looked like, well, the sound like that. Oh my goodness!
And he made a hit out of it too.
He went all the way.
Him in the Hammer pants, man.
Yeah.
I love those Hammer pants.
So much fun. You know, it was so much fun doing them things like that out there. But Lowe's Palace and the Palace Theater, man, we really had a ball in DC.
Yeah. It was a beautiful theater.
Yeah, the Howard Theater was good too.
The Howard, yep. Warner Theater.
Uptown in Philly, the Royal Theater in Baltimore.
Yep.
You know, we played all them theaters.
Yeah, I was born in Baltimore. So I know Baltimore. Yeah.
Oh, you've been to the Royal Theater for
Royal Theater, yeah. You remember with the Civic Center in Baltimore? You guys might have played there. Yeah.
Yes, we sure did. We played there a lot of times downtown. Yeah. We played there. Who was on the show with us? We think we had the Isley Brothers on there with us. Pictures on there too, in the 3 Degrees and the Honeycombs.
Oh, wow. You know who I saw there in 73? Rare Earth headlined. It was the Funkadelics the Ohio Players, and Leadhead.
Well, they had Rare Earth. Listen, watch this. We was a headliner now.
Right.
Rare Earth. We was in San Francisco.
Mhm.
So watch this. Now it's in Oakland Coliseum.
Right.
So Rare Earth stayed on stage for 2 hours, man. And so it was almost time. We the headliner, right?
Right.
Almost on the lights. So we say, man, what we gonna do? They didn't stay on all that time. So Eugene Record looked at me and said, Marshall, what we gonna do, man? What you gonna do? I said, I tell you what to do. Do Old Girl and Have You Seen Her? Get on out of here. That's what we did. We did Old Girl and Have You Seen Her. And people were still satisfied because the lights came on after we did Have You Seen Her? You know.
I'm friends with Peter Rivera, the drummer, and he's a good guy. He's living in Washington now, Spokane, I think, but he's a Michigan boy. And of course, Rare Earth was the only white guys on the Motown label, right? Yeah, good band.
I tell you what, they were smoking up there. They stayed up there about 2 hours.
2 hours, wow.
Yeah, we were supposed to be up. We were the headliner that night. That Old Girl and Have You Seen Her?
Yeah,
but hey, we couldn't do nothing. We couldn't get them off. So we said, go on, do your thing.
Yeah.
So they got our show way down. We just did those and left one out of there. It was real funny, man. We had a lot of fun though, man.
I want to remind people what the music scene was like back in 71 and 72. Of course, Oh Girl hit #1. It was #1 on the charts for a long time, but then Billboard released the top 100 for the year. At the end of the year. Oh Girl was 13 out of 100 for the end of the year. #1 was Roberta Flack, The First Time I Ever Saw Your Face. But you had #5 was Candyman, Sammy Davis. You had Joe Tex. You had Bill Withers, Al Green. Let's Stay Together was #11. I mean, this was the way music was back then,
Great music, man.
It was great music. Everybody was great. The staple singers were #19. Michael Jackson was #20. Ben, about the rat. A movie about the rat, right, Willard?
Yeah, I remember that. Ben.
We named, my grandson's name is Ben.
Wow.
I know.
Man, I love your show though. You got a great show, man.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I've been doing this for a while now and interviewed a lot of people, over 1,000 interviews. I do every, R&B, rock, everybody. I do everybody.
But I hope mine is one of the good ones.
You're one of the legends. I only do the legends, man. I did Dionne Warwick, Petula Clark. I do those guys. Then I do hard rock. I do a lot of R&B. I've had Commodores on. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, they
love it.
Worked with us before too, the Commodores.
I love music. Love music. How did Oh Girl? How did that get to be? How did that start?
Well, Eugene Record, of course he wrote it.
Yeah.
I think he had experiences with girls, and all. But we had a real funny story. Old Gene's wife, we was at rehearsal and was making all this fuss about his wife coming in late. So we rehearsed about 12 o'clock at night. So his wife was out. And we kept telling them, leave the lady alone, she'll be home. We were hurt. I'm gonna hit her. I'm gonna get her when she get in home. I'm gonna get her. Every car go past, he blow a horn, he looking out the window. I say, come back over here, Gene, and rehearse with us, man. Man, he worried about that lady, right? Then she come up, finally come home. We in the living room now. I said, he could better get on her. Man, that lady put that key in the door. You know what he said?
What?
Hi, baby.
Where was she so late, though? If you guys were recording at midnight, where was she?
She's a beautiful person,
Yeah.
man. That was one of the famous. We used to laugh about that every day. Gene, you ought to quit it. But he was a good songwriter. He wrote them hits, man.
Oh, he was fantastic. Great voice. Great voice. Yeah. Two of the legends from the band of the trio have passed. And actually, is it 4?
It's forward.
Yeah, 4 now. Yeah. Why are we all going so young? What's going on over here?
I don't know. I don't know. All I'm so glad that good Lord looked out for me. I was the driving force.
That's
I was
right.
keeping everything going.
Yep.
I didn't have time to sit down and never drank, never smoked, never did anything.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
You took care of all the bills, right?
Oh yeah, everything.
Yeah. Somebody's got to.
Everything was on the Marshall Thompson.
So many bands get ripped off by their, managers and accountants and things like that.
Well, we had good people behind us, very good. Nat Tarnopol, that's my guy. He told us, man, if the groove fit, he'll make it move.
What was it like working with Carl Davis?
Carl was beautiful. Carl got us started. He the one the pass at the audition, him and Jackie, and I was happy about that. And Carl took us around, got us some gigs and different things that we had played, and then he put us with Ruth Bourne, Queen's Booking Agency. When we got that with Ray Charles and Sammy Davis Jr. and all of them, we ended up on our way. Aretha Franklin, she took us to the stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. We thought we had did a great job. We went on stage and killed them up there. People was going crazy. We got off the stage, went to the dressing room. I said, "Nah, she ain't gonna do nothing with that." Man, that lady hit them drum roll, told them to hit them drum roll. Man, then people forgot all about we was there.
You guys had so many love songs, I mean, you must have been chased by women everywhere.
Over in London, England, Manchester, wow, flicking, what is that, Robin Hood Forest and all that. Down the street, we had Squirrel had him. I thought he was the Pied Piper. Right. I looked out the room, he had a whole line.
Did he really?
Yeah, walking down, I said, this is crazy. Yeah. We had some great times though, man. Great time.
When I was selling Luther Ingram a pair of binoculars, out of nowhere, a bunch of young girls came and stood outside waiting for them to come out.
That's what they used to do at my house. They knew what time I was coming from that office from Carl Davis.
Is that right?
Yeah. When I be doing, I be coming, then I hit that button. That garage go up real fast. Boom, go right down that sled, man. Because man, it was crazy one while. And I was on Lakeshore Drive then, that right away. And people come, Marshall, the child likes to be home at the house. They staked me out though. So I just kept going, and the security was out in the front,
Yeah, some bodyguards. Bodyguards.
Oh yeah. I still have that now.
You have to. Yeah.
You got, man, it's rough, man.
Yeah. Did you know James Brown?
James Brown was mine. Me and James Brown did a tour together for about 4 years.
Oh, wow. I love James Brown.
That's all he talked about is Marshall. He said, he told his sister, Fanny Brown, he told her, "Hey, Fanny, now you listen to Uncle Marshall there, because I told him everything you know." I said, "Hey, Mr. Brown?" Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with him.
He was incredible, man. He was around. So, there are guys in your lifetime, that are kind of fixtures of your life. James Brown's one of them. Ray Charles is another one. And I know B.B. King's daughters. I'm good friends with them. B.B. King's another one. They've always been around throughout my lifetime.
B.B. was a friend. I did some dates with B.B. We got messed up with Ray Charles, though.
Really?
In Washington, D.C. at the Carter Baron.
At the Carter Baron. I know that place.
Now, we used to sit at the hotel, right?
Right.
And so we know the show is getting ready to start at 6 or 7 o'clock. So we said, hey, let's get us enough time. We're going to get to that Carter Baron, okay? We out going to the Carter Baron. What did we see? A parade.
Yeah, that figures.
So we stuck in the parade. So we got to the gig. Ray Charles say, "Where you boys been?" I say, "Ray, we was trying to get here, man." He say, "The people here." "I'm here. Now how come you ain't here?" But we got to be friends. We got to be friends after that ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We had a wonderful time. But man, you know, with so much things we went through, you know, with this group, with the group so many years, 62 years was something else, you know.
You got to see all the, you hung out and played with all the legends, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you'll never forget that.
Yeah, you name it. Gladys used to say, that boy used to be my drummer in the back then. Now he's standing up in the front line with his group.
Well, Gladys is coming here soon. I'm in Sarasota, Florida right now.
Okay.
She's coming over here to the Van Weasel. I'm gonna see if I can get an interview with her.
Oh yeah, she came to sing for me at my birthday. I mean, not the birthday party. She came to sing with me with my celebration going to Hollywood.
Oh, really?
In Chicago and perform for us.
She looks good. She looks really good.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah. I talked to Dionne Warwick. She looks really good.
Yeah, she did she not the Midnight Special with us, but she did that old school thing on PBS. She did PBS special show with us.
Right. Mm-hmm. And one half of the Fifth Dimension, my mind, you know what I'm talking about, right?
The 50 Minutes, yeah.
Yeah, but the two that married each other and they've been together for a long time.
Billy Davis and Marilyn McCoo.
And Marilyn McCoo, yeah. I've had them on the show. I love them. They are so nice.
Oh, yeah. But all the old school people have that talent. See, first of all, they true talent.
Exactly.
They act like they were professional. We got the best professional dementors in us, you know?
Exactly.
And that's the way we work.
Exactly. Nice, personable. Don't have to worry about them having an ego problem or anything like that. You know, I love that. I love that.
Everybody go in there and do our part, sing our part, and do what we do. You know,
exactly. I wish I could sing, man. I can't sing a lick.
but you're good. Look what you're doing right now.
Yeah,
you can do. Everybody can't do what you can do right now.
Yeah, I went to school for broadcast.
Oh, see that?
I was a top 40 DJ back in the late 70s.
No kidding.
Yep. Back when there was new wave disco. I played a lot of Donna Summer. Oh, I got to show you this.
Okay.
I'm friends with Donna Summer's husband, Bruce Sudano. He sent me this, his bobblehead.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of people have those, I heard.
Yeah, you should get a bobblehead. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, somebody was telling me about that.
Oh, you should write a book.
I got a book.
You got a book out?
Last Man Standing. Okay,
I'm going to promote it. I'll put it on my websites, YouTube. We'll promote the heck out of it.
Yeah, it's the Last Man Standing. It's everybody. So I'll be my pleasure for you to promote it for me.
Definitely. I'm going to buy it too. 2004 was a big year for the Shy-Lights. You had Are You My Woman was a remake from Beyonce, and she won Grammy Awards for Crazy in Love, I guess, right?
6 Grammys for Crazy in Love. Wow. Yeah.
And also in 74, That's How Long was used as a backdrop for one of the cuts on Jay-Z's Black album.
December 4th.
I mean, you don't even have to be playing and you can get famous, you know, because you got all those songs out there.
Right.
That's great. That's incredible.
Now the Rolling Stones just come up with our other song.
Somebody told me that. What's happening there?
They put our song on a tour. They recorded. It was what is that thing? Troubles Are Coming.
Troubles Are Coming.
It's from one of our albums in 72 or something it was. And took it and we recorded it. Now they get ready to go on a world tour. He got a video out right now. If you pull up the Rolling Stones live, Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones live, you'll hear they hear him singing our song, and he announced us before he sang it.
Oh man, that's what
they did. Shy-Lights. We're gonna make by the Shy-Lights.
Unbelievable.
It's on YouTube right now. They picked me up off the floor yesterday about that.
That's incredible. That's fantastic. I'm telling you, man, the Shy Lights, dynasty keeps on rolling,
Well,
forever and ever,
thank
it really does. So what's going on now with the Shy Lights tour? Are the guys going to tour again or what?
Well, what's going to happen after we receive our big award, the biggest award of our times,
Right.
come next week, we're going to probably do some tour dates after that. So we're going to wait on the promoters and the right promoters. It's got to be the right promoters.
Right.
And by us coming out in all the magazines, quite a bit of magazines, variety magazines and different things like that, a lot of promoters that we haven't even met before is going to get a hold of that.
Good.
And they'll be calling us for dates.
Yeah, I want to mention you guys are going to be on the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce announces that the Shy Lights will be honored with the 2700th and 2nd star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame Thursday, September 30th at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. And you're going to be there. And also Jimmy J.J. Walker is going to be there, right? And Jeff Fox, radio personality Jeff Fox will also be there. Quite an honor.
Right on. It's going to be a great time. It was a great time, man. We can't wait to get there. I'm really, really honored to they pick you on there. You know what I'm saying?
I think you guys deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame also.
Right. That's what I heard. I guess they'll probably come to us now since we're getting this star in Hollywood.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all the R&B groups deserve to be there. I mean, rock and roll started from kind of a R&B blues background anyway. That's how rock started, right? Way back when.
I think we're going to open the door for a lot of the other groups coming in. Yep. I think so.
Yep. Well, I want to mention one guy just to name him out there. There is some good R&B out today. And one talented guy that I follow and I'm friends with is Binky Womack. He's the nephew of Bobby Womack. And listen to Binky. It's Curtis Binky Womack. That's his full name.
Okay.
He likes to use the name Binky. That's his nickname. He's got a lot of music on YouTube, but check him out because he's part of that Womack family.
Okay.
And they were all very, very talented.
Oh yeah, all those guys are talented.
He's my buddy. I promote the hell out of him because I think he's great. He's a true R&B guy, and you don't get much of that anymore. So I just want to mention his name today.
Okay.
You guys gonna do any of the cruises? Well,
we'll probably go back on the Soul Train cruise. We're working on it. We just left there in 2014. I think that was our last one.
Okay.
No, we did one later than that. About 3 years ago, we did one. So
those are fun, right? Those
fun. Tony is a good friend of mine. Mm-hmm. He having us on there because I was with his daddy when we were in the club when we started talking about having the Soul Train. And so what happened is Don called me, said, Marshall, I need a pilot to go to California. So I was calling everybody, Curtis Mayfield, I was calling the Dales, I was calling Tyrone Davis. Everybody was working. so I took the Shy Lights down, we cut hours. The Dales had a date canceled. Mm-hmm. They came in. Okay, then I had Barbara Ackland, because we had just did Love Makes a Woman for her. Okay, she came and we sung background on that as well. And we did her, and he went to California with that pilot. Next thing I know, he got the deal in California.
Wow. I could see you on the cruise with cruise wear, brand new cruise wear.
You talk about your outfits now.
Yeah. All new outfits, right?
Watch me next Thursday when they stream. I'll be dressed.
I tell you, I'm watching you, man.
Tell nobody turn to Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Okay.
.com, which is walkoffame.com, and they'll see the whole affair on the stream.
You got your outfit picked out yet?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm gonna be ready for that.
Yeah, but you know, the Shy Lights dress to kill too. I mean, I
Thank you.
remember those green, the lime suits
Uh-huh.
you guys wore, and like you had like a banana look and one.
Right.
Oh man, that's it. I love that, you
Yeah,
know.
but I don't know how the groups really got out of that. They come to the gigs now with the same clothes they had on outside.
I know, and that's
We can't do
shame.
that. Yeah, we can't do that.
That's a shame. It really is a shame. And some of these guys, you know, with the tattoos on their face, and
Oh yeah.
you know, there's no class anymore.
But the young folks love it though. They love that
I
stuff.
know, I
You
know.
know, and they making money and they doing what they like to do. Only
Yep.
thing we do is learn how to really get in there and sing, make some
Mhm.
love, and carry on. You know, just take the music all colorways. Let people know that you can sing, you can entertain, and do your thing.
Exactly, exactly. But you guys you guys were class all the way, man.
Thank
What about a new album? Do you think you guys will put together something?
Well, we're gonna release. My thing is, I got the new people, but we're not gonna record the new people. I'm not
No?
gonna do that now because
Okay.
we have so many albums in the can with our original voices.
Right.
People never heard some of those songs.
Good, good.
So, like, That's How Long I Love You. They're not
Mhm.
really into it yet, but they're gonna be into it because we're gonna release them again. You see,
Good, good.
it'll be new records to them, but I have the same lead singer, Eugene
Mhm.
Record.
Mhm.
You know, my voice is on there when I do my lead part. Squirrel's voice on there when he do his lead part, and of course our bass singer voice on. Well, but Bruce Redeem did a great job with us in the studio. You know, he put our voices together with those different mics that he bought for us.
So some of my other favorite tunes by you guys, "Are You My Woman," of course. "Write a Letter to Myself" has always been one of
Wow,
my favorite songs.
good one, stage.
I
They
love
love
that song.
it.
"The Coldest Days of My Life," "It's Time for Love," "Yes, I'm Ready," "If I Don't Get to Go." I mean, it goes on and on, man.
We got Lonely Man.
"Lonely Man." Yeah.
Yeah. Our opening song is "That's How Long I Love You." That song that writes me out every time.
Yep.
That's what we come on stage with.
Love the Shy Lights.
Thank you.
I've always loved the Shy Lights. Marshall, here's an interesting question. And I ask everybody this question. I get some really interesting answers. If you had a Field of Dreams wish, like the movie, to perform, collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
If we had to do it with the Temptations. This is
Really? Play with the Temptations?
Temptations. Yeah. And the Mighty Mighty Dells.
Yeah, the Dells. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I always loved it when the Temptations and the Four Tops would go against each other and have that battle, that sing-along battle. Yeah.
Right.
Those
But
guys,
those
are
groups there got some great records, man. You know,
great.
the Dells, Chuck and them, and Marvin, them guys can blow. You know, we did Lowe's Palace in Washington so many times with Dells. Wow, over and over and over. You know, and Temptations. We played with the Temptations on the same stage a lot of times. We thought we'd never be on the stage with them. Well, we done about 4 or 5 up, you know, with them. It's a wonderful time.
Did you know Ruffin?
Oh, David Ruffin. I
David Ruffin?
used to go get his hamburgers at the Wrigley. Right across the street at Walgreens. He used to be Walgreens. Used to be they used, you know, you used to eat in Walgreens.
That's right. I remember that.
Remember them stews they had up there?
Yeah.
And David Ruffin used to tell, and Jimmy Ruffin too, his brother. Go over there, Marshall. Go over there and get me some a cheeseburger. I used to go get burgers, have a fun time. Otis will tell you all about it. That's my buddy.
Yeah. Otis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk all the time.
Yeah. Great band. Great band.
Oh, yeah.
And the Four Tops.
Oh yeah.
Love them all, man.
Levi was him and Obi.
Yeah.
The Obi on the Four Tops. Oh, that's my guy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's only one guy left from the Four Tops as well.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Very sad, you know. It's sad when you grow up with all these guys and they're no longer with you, you know.
Right.
Especially when they go so young, you know. But I've lost a lot of people in my life too that were young, that were friends of mine. So when it's your time, I guess, you know?
Well, I try to go and do the best I can, keep it going. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can do.
Well, you got a happy, positive attitude, and that's what's keeping you going.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Marshall, anything else you want to promote or chat about? I'm gonna promote the book.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else you got going?
Well, just tell everybody to get better. Now we be in Los Angeles, California, December the 18th. That's with Snoop Dogg.
With Snoop Dogg?
50 Cent.
Really?
Al Green.
Al Green. Oh man.
We got about 30 acts on the show, 35 acts on the show.
What's the show called?
It's called Summer something there, Summer Memories or something. I send you one of those posters.
Okay. Oh, that'd be wonderful.
It's sold out though. They don't have a ticket left in the place.
Is that going to be on TV or no?
No, not that I know of. You know.
Oh God.
It's right outside.
That should be televised.
Yeah. All the acts on that show. Yeah, they got some acts on. I wish I had it in front of me. I should have had it right in front of me to tell you about it.
You know who did a good job doing shows like that? Sinbad. Remember he did those.
He sure did.
He did those soul concerts. They need to do that again. You remember Midnight Special, Don Kirshner, concert.
Man, Jack and all them guys.
You played all that. You did all that.
Oh yeah.
They need to bring stuff like that back so we can have live music on TV again.
Well, that helps promote all the people too. Sammy and Company was a great show we did. We did that show. A sad day when Toby went away. We sung that on this show.
Yeah.
And that was good too.
Of course, Soul Train was incredible. He had all the big acts.
Soul Train, we stayed on Soul Train. We must have been on that thing about 10 times. And Clark did a great job with us too now. You know, he helped with that pop side.
Yeah.
So.
I just want to mention for more information about Marshall Thompson and the Shy Lights, you can go to www.shylightsofficial.com. You guys are on Facebook, you're on Twitter, and you're also on Instagram as well.
Absolutely.
And when you start doing some more dates, man, I hope you come down south to Florida.
Hey, we're on our way to Florida very soon. They're talking about it now.
Awesome. Well, when I find out where you're playing, I'll stop in and say hello. Okay,
that'd be. And you can send me a copy of your show too, and I can put it up on my page. Do you do YouTube or anything?
I do it all. I do it all.
Okay, let me know when you so I can put it up on my site.
What I'll do, I'll send it to Gail.
Okay.
I'll send it to Gail, and she'll pass it on to you, and you'll get all the links. Okay.
You definitely take care of it.
Yeah. All right, Marshall. Okay. Hey, man, it's been a pleasure to chat with you today, man.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Good time.
I love your music. You're a great person and the best dresser in the world. I admire you, man. I wish I could dress like you.
Thank you so much.
All right, man. Take care. We'll see you.
Okay, bye.
Peace, brother.